Alright. So, level Thunder. I would like to complain. I want to complain about this tank. Now, I'm very happy this tank is here because this was my house for a few years. But there are a few issues. There are a few issues with this tank in War Thunder and the way it's modeled and like inaccuracies that annoy me or bother me or whatever. So let's take it from first. It's a general thing about War Thunder. I prepared some videos about yeah, this is a truck that's being dismantled. So like a track is getting ruined a lot in War Thunder, and usually the tanks start spinning around the middle of the tank instead of doing this. Like this is how a tank moves with like a broken track. It doesn't spin around the middle. It goes forward and backwards along the fucking track because it can't work otherwise. I don't know. I'm guessing it's the way uh, the vehicles are modeled in War Thunder, and this is like some simplification they made. But seriously, this like it actually matters in a game because you can angle your armor whenever someone is going to take a shot at you if they tracked you. It's kind of stupid and it's been bothering me for a while. So yeah, that's not exclusive to the Merkava. This is an overall issue everywhere. Anyway, let's move on to the mortar first. I don't know why. Anyway, this mortar, this thing, 60 millimeters mortar. It doesn't. This is not how it works in real life. Um, the mortar, the way it does work. I found this clip. Yeah, these guys are assholes, but whatever. Yeah, so he's loading the mortar. They already calibrated the distance. He should not be outside of the tank while firing. Like this is a safety issue. Now, fire the thing, and we're gonna see it land after a while. Yeah, you see here? Bonk. Now, this weapon is effective up to like, oh fuck, what was it, like 1600, 2000 meters. It's not a shoot smoke onto yourself kind of thing. This is it's very strange how it works in War Thunder. What they did want to use, and I don't know, maybe my tank is not yet what is it called? Maybe it's not yet upgraded enough. Oh fuck! Why am I in simulator? Yes, realistic during the day. Okay. Yeah. So these 6 holes are the smoke launchers. There are 12 of those. They're called meduchot, and they fire in pairs. So like you press it once as the commander, it shoots from each side. Like here the top right and here the bottom left. Then it spirals back in like here. Then the second click is the middle, top middle, bottom middle, left middle, top left, bottom right, and so on. And you have a button that you can shoot all of them, but you don't do that because yeah. Another thing, this is also for all simulator tank battles. This view, when you're looking like this from the commander's board, this is you're almost standing on top of the turret. Like when you are in your hatch, this should be open, and this is usually also open. And what you see is like, you see this circle here in the middle, like this thing for the mounting for the mag machine gun. That's what you see when you look to your right. This shit, this crap is in front of your face, and you can just peek over the tank. Like, this view is insane. Like, this is what happens when you are standing on top of the turret. And this is I've also seen it in the Centurion tank, and I made pictures in Latun. What you see when you are just peeking out of the commander's hatch versus when you're standing on it. Actually, I'll put it on in this video. So that's another thing that's fucking bullshit in War Thunder, like everywhere. Now let's continue. Mortar we did. What was this? Pew pew. I think this was the HSS smoke. Yeah, okay. No idea what this was. Alright, so another thing is reload times. Reload times are stupid, I know. They tried to balance the game with reload times, and then they kind of gave up and they just raised all the repair costs. But this is a series firing in a Merkava Mark II tank. And, like, look, check out what he does. This guy, I think he's a bit new. He doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. And there's a shell already in the, what is it called? Chamber? Is it a chamber? Anyway, he's holding the next shell. He's you can see that his helmet is not closed. Another safety violation. And yeah, now that's also wrong, because as you can see, he almost shot his hand off. This is the safety for the gun, one of the safeties. And you're supposed to, no, actually, you're supposed to push it one after you have another shell, but I don't know, something went wrong here, because he almost shot his hand off, and there's a procedure for this. Like, you say it's loaded, and only then you can fire. But I guess he said loaded before he pushed the safety, and the gunner was like pew pew pew. Anyway, so he fired, and this is very slow. Like, the shell should already be inside, but it has been. We'll see how long. Push the fucking safety already, Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's just casually. You're not supposed to put your hand there. He's kind of an idiot. Anyway, you can have two shells flying off out of your barrel within 3-4 seconds for the first two, and then he like needs to bend over and get a new shell and send it flying. Yeah, so this is kind of annoying. Like, you have here this thing. Are there 8 shells? What the fuck? There are 6 there. There should be 6 shells in the ready rack for the loader. I don't know why there are 8. This is inaccurate. Also, usually these, you see these 6 shells over there on the left. So 4 should be in the front, right before the engine. There's a plate where you can mount them. I don't think I've seen 6 shells next to me on the left as a loader. This is kind of weird. And in the back, yeah, that's okay. Anyway, so yeah, practically Merkava Mark II tank can send 2 shells flying within, I would say, 4 seconds, when they're already in firing position and they have the range and they have all the stuff. It's like boom pow. It's very fast. All right. So yeah, that's also kind of bothersome. Now, something with this these lines. This what is it called? Covenant. Sites. Yeah. So these sites are not the real ones. I know you can change them in like as a mod. Yeah, this is more or less what we had. Yeah, I don't remember right now. Yeah. So anyway, when you laser range find something, you go and you range find this thing. It should be instantaneous, first of all. So realistic. Ah, hey, it does give you the thing automatically. All right. Cool. All right, no complaint here. Just the sights are weird. Alright, so basically what happens in real life is you press the metering laser range find thing, and the cannon jumps according to what shell you're firing, and there are calculations and bullshit that's going on there. The computer is doing all the calculations for you, and like I couldn't find a video clip of this online, but basically the cannon just jumps like for a heat FS shell, and it has a very bent trajectory, and it's the most noticeable with heat for APDS. It's very minute. It's like a boom, little jump, and it has the range even for like 2000, 2500s. It's very It's very tiny, almost not noticeable. Now, these things are cool. The extra protection. I don't know if it, like there were many modifications to the Merkava Mark II. This is slightly later. Do we have the Hall ones? No, the Hall it doesn't have any here. Have you seen the lack of the? It's called Sal Chulamit, like at the back of the turret. Let me see if I can find it. I mean, you probably know this by now. It's very, I don't know, it's kind of famous. So, these things, and they are designed to stop heat charges here. And this is the Mark II. Ah, such a tank. And this is the Mark III. It also has I think it came after the Shellig War Galilei piece. Someone hung basically soda cans because a heat charge doesn't need a lot of motivation to explode. It just needs like a very, very small impact. So they stopped it with like improvised stuff, and now it's made of rubber. It's like a chain with rubber ball at the end. But it acts as spaced armor, right? And the charge goes off, and the space between like here, this point, and the actual like this is a weak spot of the turret. So this is all now air, and it works statistically. It works. War Thunder is a different thing. Yeah. So what else did I have? HSS smoke. Now we had a picture of it. This picture. Ugh, this fucking. Alright, let's go here. This is HSS smoke. Now, even the Mark 1 had it. I don't know if originally, but the Merkava Mark 1s that I had in reserve also had it. I know because I used this smoke thingy ejector. It basically makes diesel steams at the exhaust of the engine. And yeah, it's kind of weird that it doesn't have it. I don't think we have it as a modification either. Let's see. No, this should be a modification, and there's also no smoke modification for the smoke grenade. Is it this thing? Let's see. Maybe. Could be. I haven't researched the night vision device yet, but for the Merkava Mark II, we had a thermal sight. I don't know if this one has it because I haven't researched it, because in this game this tank is almost impossible to use. At least for me. So another broken mechanism is artillery support. As a person, as a commander of a tank that has artillery support, it doesn't matter where I am. As a person, I can tell them like fire into these and these coordinates at this and this spread and this anything, and they have their orders, and they will just fire to where I tell them on the map, because like we practice this every time we go on a mission, right? We practice, like, we give them fake coordinates, or like they fire on dry. We practice the communication between the tank crews and the artillery crews. So I don't know. It's kind of silly. Yeah, Sharir, 105 millimeter. This is the M86, but better. All the American people are triggered. Oh my god! How can you say it's better? It's an exact copy. It's licensed. So what else? This is okay. This is okay. These mugs are okay. They jam way more than in War Thunder. Like, it's embarrassing how often they jam. Let's see. So usually when we test in the morning how fast it takes for the turret to rotate, a whole rotation takes between 12 and 15 seconds, and each side is different for whatever reason. Let's go to simulator. Yeah, also another thing, there's a parallax effect. Like, if I'm a tank person, and I aim here, it does compensate for parallax. So let's see for a longer range. The parallax effect is basically, I'm looking at something, right? And I need to coordinate the point of view of the cannon and my point of view, and they intersect at a point. At each range, they will intersect at different angles. Yeah, that's cool. It exists in this tank. So when you basically when you look at something from your mirror, from the periscope of the gunner, the tank needs to calculate, like the computer needs to calculate what angle the barrel needs in order to hit what you are looking at, like to intersect with what you are looking at a given range. So this is actually pretty well done. I know in simulator for other tanks, you have to compensate for it on your own when firing. So let's see. Alright, that was like 10, 12 seconds. You would check this with your, like with the commander's controllers for each side, and then with the gunner controller for each side. You would check that the commander can override the gunner's input in the morning. What else do we have? Yeah, so very simplistic simulation of this tank. And I actually, so you have this gear here for the turret rotation, but actually the actual motor is here behind, and it's not modeled as far as I can see. And I would say that a turret hit should A be blocked by that thing, at least partially, and B should also like stop the turret from rotating until you fix it. Oh, I know what else bothers me. You know when you're tracked and the crew fucking fixes the track from inside the tank without anyone going out. Like I played a bit of Enlisted, and in Enlisted it's pretty cool. Like it takes 4 seconds, but whatever. It's a game. You're not gonna sit there for 2 hours and fuck the thing up for 5 times until you get it right. Um, but fixing it from inside the tank without cover is just bananas. Like this doesn't happen. And I know you're gonna tell me like, oh, it needs to be a game and blah blah. But this is a game that prides itself on being realistic. Like this is the selling point. This is like when you go to Gaijujils, aircraft attack helicopter ground force and never collaborate. Competitive battle. Where do they? Ah ah. Collaborate in realistic competitive battles. Yeah. So do you want to be realistic or not? Like you cannot be realistic and also not be realistic. Like only where you choose. Like yeah, I get it. You don't want like engine failures while just driving around is stupid. I get it. Like having the Kruppstahl being less of lesser quality for later tanks. Yeah, that's kind of it's hard to do. But you know what? Instead of raising the repair costs on things, you can do other things. For example, uh, instead of raising the repair cost as a flat thing, like it can be a function of your respective BR. Like if you're almost always up tiered in this game, unless you're playing top tier, like top BR, and then you're playing your BR like 50% of the time. So how about instead of like having a fixed repair cost, if you are top tier, if you're top Doge, it should be the maximum that they define. And but if you are up tiered, which is most of the time, it should be less because it usually happens to me is, let's say I take out the Merkava Mark II. This is a 9.0 tank. I see 10.0 tanks, and most of the time I'm just gonna get like shafted. And then I have 8,000. What was it? Silver cats to spend. And they're like way worse things, like the Conqueror and the Centurions and so on. But they, sure, they do good. They do well when they are down tiered, and when they face like the one BR lower. But that rarely happens, and they usually see 0.3, 0.7, 0, 1.0 above them. So their repair costs should be lowered according to that. Like, sure, you need to balance the game somehow. But how about instead of making the King Tiger really expensive, you could make it so for each King Tiger in the enemy lineup, you can have instead of one player, two players that have Shermans, for example. Like if you ever played Simulator, it's not a very balanced lineup. Like you can have tanks. What is this? This is 3.3 that are facing 4.7s. What else do we have? Yeah, what is the lowest BR here? No, this is high. 2.3, all right? This is, you have from 2.3 to 4.3. I saw a 4.7, right? Somewhere. Yeah, the German KV. What else? Yeah, 3.3. Zoot. 7, 4, 3. Yeah, so in simulator you have a bigger range of BR spread. And I don't know, I'm guessing people still play this. I know I would like to, but I suck too much. So yeah, you can do that. You can do teams that are not one-to-one distribution, just because the tanks are like, you cannot compare this King Tiger H. King Tiger H 6.7. It sees this tank. This tank, I think, yeah, this is the trashiest tank I've ever played. I didn't even bother. Like I couldn't bring myself to do this because of how horrible it was to play. Like this one, amazing. This one, eh. This 76 also. Yeah. Did I even? Yeah, I finished this one. I don't know. When I played this tank, I somehow managed. I think I was premium when I spaded this tank, but it was hell. Like this tank also, it gets fried every time I see anything. And I'm not even going to talk about, like, this tank is fun when you can actually get your shot off. But I don't know. I cannot justify 11,000 and a half birds, not birds, lions, kittens every time I fire. I don't know what is my KD with this tank. Vehicle, no birds. T30. T34, T34, 57% win rate, 24 kills to 15. Oh, that's could be worse, I guess. But yeah, this tank wasn't profitable. But yeah, with I played a few games recently with, this was completely stock. Like I didn't even have parts. And it's just a point and click adventure. It's like, oh, a tank, pew. Oh, a tank, boom. Oh, a tank, oh. Look at that. I just one shot everything. So I don't think upping the repair cost, like this used to be 2,000, I think. Upping the repair cost doesn't make the tank any less good. But yeah, this is a whole different. Okay, whatever. Let's let's keep it to Merkava. Complaints. Also, it's daytime. Why is this open? This should be closed. This is unprofessional, guys. You are completely, like, you're gonna stay the weekend this time. So yeah, this will be all. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm just being nitpicky. And yeah, have a good one. Have a one shot.